We got things flaring up, causing prices to drop. H-bar rolling back to November price time. Ooh, it ain't looking good. Venture capital money, we'll talk about it. ETH sell-off, along with some of our other favorites going deep in the red. Why? Well, you're going to learn and... Yo, check it out. We get fresh warnings from the Middle East and Bitcoin takes a dump. And then what happens? H-bar takes a dump. And what happens? XRP takes a dump. Everything takes a dump all at the same time. It's frustrating, and I hate it. My job is to bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. And I know, some of you are like, but bro, why do you seem so excited to bring the bad news? It's not that I'm excited. It's just like, it sucks. You know what I mean? So, like, I just try to have excitement. Otherwise, what do you want me to be? To be like, yeah, the guys, it sucks, you know, Bitcoin's... No, like... it sucks, you know. I just try to throw, like, energy at it, so at least it's not, like, shitty on top of suck, because it's poop sandwich, balls, sack. Happy Saturday. Let's have some fun, at least, while we get rammed in the b-hole. The Hudson starts us off and says, first, good morning, sexy pants. Thanks for the morning news. Choo choo. Well, thank you, kind sir. Says my fiance brought me some coffee in bed. Lucky for you. I didn't have that luck this morning. Chino BX hanging out, BX all day, well done. Says, always great content and sound sensible breakdown of all the current events, crypto related, with a twist of humor and colorful presentation. I also throw some naughtiness in there. Should follow me on Twitter. I get pretty naughty on Twitter. Pretty raunchy as well. It's linked in the description down below, along with all these articles. Viewers' comments come first. Just throwing it out there if you haven't figured it out by now. If you have, rock on. I pick these comments at random times of the day. By the way, it's fucking hot out as well here, too. John Bush says it's smoking hot in Tejas already. Especially with this rumor. Yes, that's the rumor of the United States government, Los Estados Unidos, going to take some XRP. Can't wait to use my XP to buy a condo in Myrtle Beach. Hey, South Carolina, that's where I live. Love the show and personality. #1 in the biz. Well, thank you. One more comment, and then we'll get into the news. Adel Quinn says, XRP booster busted. You're on it. Thank you. Well, thank you, my gal. 7% of the viewers are ladies. All right, here's the worry. Bitcoin approaching that 100,000 mark. Big fear here, because if that breaks, all hell is breaking loose in this crypto market. Now, there are some cryptos out here that are really, really struggling. Look at ADA, 56 cents. We already talked about H-bar. Let's just go back to H-bar real quick. Well, don't worry, we'll get into the news. We'll come to the price. Look, just hear me out. 13.9. We're talking breaching 14 cents. We're talking about going back to November pricing. We are almost there. We just got to wipe through one day, the April 7th day. Then we wind this bitch on back to November 29th pricing. That is brutal, everyone. Doge 15.8. This is craziness right now. The market, really soft. Really, really soft. We're seeing a lot of floor support where, wait, now that being said, certain things are holding. Bitcoin is holding that 100,000 mark. XRP is holding the $2 mark. ETH, you know, we're seeing some problems with ETH. We're going to talk about it. So why are things doing what they're doing, okay? Well, we already know about the macros, but what's happening right now? The reason that BTC did this little pooperoni right here, the reason XRP did, the reason HBAR did, well, it has to do with this. Isreal Iran flare-ups. It's all over the news. Boom, my phone started going off. All the news alerts that I subscribe to, they all started going off. That was it. And then all of a sudden, we started seeing the prices really start pooping. Isreal Iran. Trump says Iran poses a threat to the United States. Oh, shit. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's what the president wrote on social media. Ah, dang it. United States gets dragged into this, you are going to have some problems. Escalation, son. So, that's why we're having the price problems that we're having right now. So, Middle East action, problem. But remember, problem, solution. Door closes, window opens. Or maybe like a door closes, another door opens. I don't know. However you want to run the statement, that's how it goes. So, does this also mean that if things were to ever get resolved, we could rally as a market? Ooh, optimism. Ooh, juicy. By the way, what the fuck is up with me wearing a green shirt with a red background? Is this Christmas already? No. I just had a green shirt on today because it's one of my racing shirts. And then, like, you know, the market went red, so I put the red background on. I know, Christmas. Okay, let's get news and then we'll talk price. BlackRock just sold 20 million of this cryptocurrency ETH. Oh, ETH. Okay, specifically on June 20th, BlackRock spot ETF saw an outflow of $20 million, the first after 30 days of continuous inflows. So the market was already selling this off yesterday, and we did see some of that softness already. ETH specifically has had some problems as well when it's come to price action. Now, that being said, we're seeing a lot of the bigs out there sell off. I brought a story up to you earlier in the week about ETH doing what? Or I'm sorry, about the Trump family doing what? Selling some of their World Liberty Financial stuff. Look at this. On June 11th, ETH was at 2880. We're at 2400. That's a pretty strong sell-off here in 2 weeks with one of the bigs with ETH. That's a big problem eroding. Go to the 6 month on ETH. ETH was at 3600. No, it's not even close to that, is it? No, it is not. Look at ETH touching 4,000 a couple times. And then what happens? Yeah, not there anymore. You see what I'm saying? There's a definite softness to ETH. Okay, so that's BlackRock. We got some problems with the outflows with ETH. Expert warns of war of codes. Now, I'm sure you heard about this. I've stayed away from this story a little bit because, again, I'm not touching the political sides. I'm just touching the crypto part of it. You should touch yourself. Well, yeah, you could do that, but you could also touch the subscribe button. Notification bell, that helps out too. So that way you're caught up on the news. So when, like, the notification bell goes off, you're like, whoa, there's something happening in the cryptoverse. Okay. Iranian exchanges hacked. So now we got to zoom out just a little bit. Screw the political part of this. Screw the war part of this. Does this mean if there was ever, like, say, a war, or if the United States were to get dragged in a war, that you would have to worry about your crypto on your exchange getting hacked? Hell yeah, you do. Listen to this. This is a game changer. I think geopolitical efforts in a war, as we see it right now, is playing different in different avenues, Raviv said. We've always said that when you can trace funds, you're able to see what's behind the curtain. And now this is another escalation or evolution of how factors or actors and entities within a space are able to target the actual source of funding and change the game for the entire system. So now you're looking at this going, well, wait a minute, you can fight wars on multiple fronts. Yes, you could be physically destructive with, you know, like pew-pews and bombs and all that kind of stuff, right? You could use drones. You can use chemicals. You can use all sorts of stuff. You could do political stuff. You could go after financial. You could go after cyber attacks. You see what I'm saying? Like, and all of a sudden, like, if you could just willfully, nilfully just kind of hack an exchange, does that mean then your exchange is susceptible? So that's why we had that big talk on the live stream about cold storage and the advantages of it. So just throwing it out there, right? We have to consider that. If the U.S. gets dragged into this, are our exchanges susceptible? Okay, let's keep learning. Crypto venture capital funding. This is a good story, okay? So we do have some poop sandwiches that we have to digest, but now we have a FNAF cup filled with juice. Now this is cranberry juice because I'm still recovering. Hold on. Cranberry juice, okay? That's good. So poop sandwich earlier, now we go good, and then we're going to go back to poop sandwich, okay? Crypto venture capital funding. AI, stuff like that, shaking up the market. This is good. Even though rates are high, even though we've got some stuff going on with the Middle East, people still want to build. That is good. That shows you from a larger, greater perspective that people still believe in crypto and what it can bring to the table. The week was dominated by infrastructure and AI-focused ventures, with Edge and Layer leading the pack to a $70 million round backed by A16Z Crypto. So, people still out there, like I said, still believe, and they still want to what? Invest in crypto. UBX Units Network, each attracting 10 million or more from prominent investors like Pantera, they always invest, right? Lightspeed, Galaxy Digital, and Coinbase Ventures. So that's what I'm saying. You still have a lot of the bigs out there investing in crypto, investing in the building, right? The infrastructure, the utility, okay? So once we get past this speculative bubble, this blob up on the screen of red, 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 we can then what, everyone? We can get into the building. We can get into the juice, the stuff that makes crypto actually move and flow. Okay, now let's get into price. All right. HBAR. Sub 14 cents. I think some of you out there are going to start looking at this going, yo, this is, look at this. With the exception of the April 7th poo-poo, bad time. This is the cheapest you've been able to buy HBAR in like 6 months. Like, this is like a Black Friday sale for HBAR. Like, yeah, think about that. Like, you want to zoom out all you can? This is Black Friday HBAR on sale. Is that the same for BTC? No. So you're seeing some of these things are playing out very differently than others, okay? Very, very differently. What about for XRP, right? You're like, well, is it a Black Friday sale for XRP? No, not really. Because think about this, right? If we line up where our price is at now, we saw that right here in May, again in April, again in March, and again in February, again in February. Like, you see what I mean? So certain things are definitely going on sale more than the other. That being said, certain things are obviously getting pounded. In fact, if we go back to our cryptocurrencies right here, look at some of them, okay? Look at this. Doge, down 79% from its all-time high. ADA, we brought up in the beginning, right? Look at this. 56-cent ADA right now. Bitcoin Cash, down big time, down 89%. Link, down 77% from its all-time high. Avalanche, I know there's Avalanche fans now. It's down 88% right now. What about XLM fans? We've talked about that too. Here, let's go to the chart on XLM real quick. Okay, hold on. Let me go to that. I'm going to open this up. We're going to do it. See, I do the show for you, the fans, and that's why this is kind of fun. Okay, zoom out here. Look at this, right? XLM, a little bit, right? A little bit chunk right here. And then once you get past this chunk of price right here, you touched it again in March, and then you go back to November pricing. Yeah, so you're talking about some of your favorites on here going on super sale. So that's why you got to ignore all the hype and the hopium out there that, oh, bro, the train's leaving the station. What did I see on X? Oh, people are going to be priced out on XRP. No, you're not going to get priced out on stuff. Oh, you're never going to be able to buy XLM this cheap again. I mean, I don't know. Look at the way the charts are going. This ain't looking good. The Isreal Iran thing ain't looking good. You can't be dragged into this and expect the prices to go up. No, they're going to keep going down if this thing keeps escalating. So just look at what the market is giving you right now. Litecoin down 80%. Some of these things, if you believe in them, are juicy. Some of them, they're just going to keep going down. Just throwing it out there. Some of them are just going to keep going down. Some of these things have been pumperonis and dumperonis, and some of them are very heavily manipulated. So that's why you got to do legit research. You got to know where you feel comfortable. You got to know what fits your situation best. Me, I've got a ton of cash set aside for a bunch of things. I got a bunch of targets. Some of them are getting freakishly close. And I'm like, yo, I did not think I was going to be there. Okay. Here, hold on. Here, let's zoom out. Okay, let's zoom out real quick. Okay, here, watch this. Okay, so Circle. Remember I told y'all, I said I have a price target for Circle, right? I am not going to chase it. Okay, period. So I had money put aside for Circle. I have. Now I say had because I ain't anywhere near that target, okay? So that money from Circle now, I know it's not going to go in there. I am not going to chase it. So now that money can go to other targets that I have. Some of my other targets, we are getting darn close to where I'm like, yo, I think I might pull the trigger and do some shopping. Now, that being said, I have waited months for some of these things. But when some doors close, like the Circle one, because I'm not changing, other doors open. And do you see how I tie that in with the viewers' comments? Pretty good, wasn't it? So now what you got to start thinking is, what do we got to look forward to? And I mean that on both the optimistic side and the pessimistic side. Obviously, the news right now is reacting very heavily to what's going on in the Middle East. Price action, as soon as like articles start coming out that there's a flare-up, dude, BTC, everything else starts taking a poop, okay? But just like I said, if something starts happening where we get optimism, and we saw that last weekend, right, where Iran was like, yo, we want a little ceasefire. All of a sudden, you started seeing things roar. So you see it on the optimistic side, too. You just have to start looking at this going, which way do you think it's going to go? That's not my job. My job is to bring you the news, what's happening right now, so that you can make the best decision for you. Now, that being said, what's really cool is, see, venture capital is still pouring money in. The big players out there are still dumping money into crypto. Now, there are some players out there that are selling. There are some insiders that are selling, right? But that always happens. That happens in the stock markets as well. Speaking of the stock markets, I'm not chasing Circle. So because I'm not chasing Circle, that now allows me to use that capital to go somewhere else, right? See, since I'm not chasing, I'm sticking to my fundamentals and my targets based on my news in research. So that's why I try to bring you news, good, bad, happy, or sad, of like a whole like array of things, just so that you can do what fits you the best. That's why I always suggest hitting a notification bell, so that when you see things taking a poop, or when you see things rocketing, or when you see a story and you're like, yo, is this too good to be true? I got your back. And then the notification bell happens, so you're in the loop faster. And there you go. You're informed. Now, that being said, could you imagine me being a beat writer for the White Sox? Yeah, I'd have like way worse than like red background. I'd have like lava falling on the walls. It would look like I'm in the infernos of hell or something because like the Sox really suck. Gonna be like the third year in a row where they lose 100 games. Yeah, and let's be real here. There's no such thing as a bandwagon Sox fan. Like, I have been a Sox fan since I was, like, the littlest, like tiny kid. I've been to hundreds and hundreds of Sox games. I've been a season ticket holder. I was at the first game of when the new stadium was done. Yeah. Like, I've got tons of PSA slabs of Sox guys. There's, like, rows and rows and rows of autographed rookie cards. Like, huh. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, there's lots of Sox guys up there. Yeah, so... You know what I'm doing today? Watching the Sox game. Probably going to be depressed. I'm also going to be watching crypto. And as news breaks, I'll bring it to you. So choo-choo what? Choo-choo biz nachos. And I'll catch y'all later. Be smart. Right? Just be smart.